Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host Evan Teague, looking like always is my spectacular friend Noah Bailey. So, this past week we had two fairly highly anticipated movies get trailers, and the first one we're going to talk about is the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. Initial thoughts.
Bro, that's gonna be so good. It's like it looks. I was actually talking about it this morning. It looks so good, man. And like you could just like he's so locked in. Like even that first shot where they're just like that where he's falling and it's like
Mhm.
inside the mat, which is a great shot by the way.
Yeah,
I just
I heard a lot of
like
people complain like, "Oh, I thought it was skin tight. How'd they get that shot? It's a movie. It doesn't. Shut up. What are you talking about?"
yeah, I can't believe the guy. Yeah, I'm like, bro, it's obvious. Like they just they probably put a camera in the mat, or they probably like, you know what I mean. It's
Whatever.
fine. Yeah, when Tom Holland really
All these
jumped off a
complaints about,
building.
um, but yeah, the suit,
Ooh, looks great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Like that's Spider Man. like,
And I'm about to say, it's not even like, MCU or like, all the like, all the live action movies, you kind of like, oh, the Raimi suit, oh, the amazing, and oh,
mm,
the, like, this just looks like a Spider-Man suit. It doesn't look like it's trying to do its own, but it looks very exactly like Spider-Man.
no
Like,
weird
looks like
beads,
every
no
comic and everything.
extra colors. It's just Spider.
Yeah, no random changes. It just looks like Spider-Man. It looks really, really good. And I think that's what they're going for. Like this is just a Spider-Man movie. And like I love how it just seems like we're just integrating, the Punisher's in it. He looks
Mm,
great. Their dynamic looks great. I love it.
yep.
He's just going for it. It just looks so good. And like the way how the vibes are so different where it just feels like we're just being Spider-Man. Like, you know what I mean? We're
Mm,
not worried about saving the planet. We're not worried about, this, no aliens, no whatever. We're literally
mm.
just saving New York. Like, we're just very friendly neighbor. Like,
Like,
we're going for it.
yeah, just a like one thing about the suit that I thought was very cool is in all the previous MCU Spider-Man movies, I think the most of those suits look very good. Honestly, I think the one at the end of No Way Home, where it's like his the more black suit with like part of the Iron Spider around it, I think that looked a
Yeah,
little
with the
weird.
logo. Yeah.
But like overall, I think most of his suits look very good. However, they very clearly have like a layer of CG over them. They look almost like kind of soft and like there's no wrinkles, there's no blemishes. It's just the suit. This
Yeah.
like even from the first scene of him falling, just there's like ripples in it. Like it looks very
Looks
tactile. Like
legit.
yeah, it looks legit. I really
Yeah.
really appreciate that. And that's just kind of the vibe I get from this entire trailer is that just the lighting and set design, everything about just the way it looks, just looks more real than other than some other MCU movies that we've gotten kind of recently, and I dig that very well. Like I think, um, especially after like I know No Way Home is an amazing movie, we both really like it, but I think there were some shots that looked a little dark, looked a little the green screen was very obvious. I know it was shot during COVID, but like still, I think they could have done a little better job hiding that for certain scenes. This movie, just every shot looked just visually looked very very good. Um, so you mentioned Punisher. I think one of my favorite things about Spider-Man just in general is that whenever a different character comes into one of his movies or comics or whatever, even if they are the best at what they do in their respective movies or shows or comics, they are you know like they are a force of nature in their own reality. Whenever they interact with Spider-Man, they're just like
Not.
not even close. Like even Doctor Strange in the last movie, just leagues behind what Spider-Man can do, and I really like that.
Well, and it tells how great Spider-Man is, because I mean, it's like, oh man, you're strong, yeah, but Spider-Man's pretty strong too, bro.
yeah,
Like, man, I'm fast, yeah, but you're not Spider-Man fast. Like,
like I assume Punisher knew that he could tank that that blast, but then he
yeah,
took it and then just immediately smacked him out of that van. Just
yeah, the way he just completely went through the van was crazy.
uh,
Just, and I like how there. It seems like there. I will say that seems like there's a lot they're going for, which I'm a little worried because it looks like doing some kind of mutation, which I don't know if we're gonna get into man spider
I
stuff
think we
and
are. I
stuff like
think we
that, which
are.
is gonna be so creepy. But
Because
we're gonna do that. We've got, he ran into Bruce, and there's probably gonna be some like, oh, but I forget, but maybe Hope remember that kind of,
maybe,
we could do
maybe.
that. We can do a lot. Like we've got Scorpion is also in this,
Mhm.
finally doing something with the suit.
Yeah, some kind of mind control person who can like switch bodies. Like,
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
don't know
Yeah.
what's going on with that, but that seemed cool. Like, the shot of that tank falling over and him open the door is just like, grandma in there.
Yeah, that was so
That's funny.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
But no.
I have seen people kind of I guess complain about, oh, there's too much going on, there's too many villains. You have Tarantula, you have that boomerang guy, you have the Hand, which we'll get more of them in just a second. Like, I think there's too much going on. First of all, um, I genuinely think that most of those like slow motion when he's fighting all those villains, I think a lot of those are gonna be like a montage, just kind of show what he's been up to all this
Hmm.
time, because it's apparently in universe going to be about 4 years between in universe, which is about the time it's been between movies.
Oh wow.
So yeah, like,
So
the
it's
first
been
little bit's just
four
going to be
years
him,
since he's seen them?
I
Or
guess.
since
Yeah,
like, dang, that is gonna be tough.
which I I I think is going to be kind of cool to see. 'Cause we don't really do that very much, where we literally see what a hero has been up to between movies. Like, I think that's really cool. Um,
Yeah, it rarely ever happens.
like, all these villains that aren't really, they don't really deserve to be a villain of their own movie. No one really cares about Tarantula. No one really cares about that boomerang guy. Like, they're just vehicles to kind of, do. Oh, here's a comic book cover that you you maybe saw one time doing a live action. That's neat.
Yeah.
Um,
They do
but
one
also it's
thing.
got to be a little weird knowing that we're probably not going to see at least most of his college life. Because assuming he got into college, a year or two after the events of No Way Home, he's either in his senior year of college or just out of college. And after seeing him 3 movies in high school, I would have liked to have spent a little more time with him actually in college. But maybe he's still there. Maybe he spent a lot of time doing Spider-Man stuff and then went to college a little later. So I think they could still make that work.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like, especially, with how smart he is. I mean, I'm sure it looked like he was in school, probably with like one of Banner's classes or something. So,
It could be that Bruce Banner was an old professor, like they was a professor during, like, while he was in college, and he, um, or maybe he like knows that Bruce is good with genetic stuff, so he just went to one of his classes, which it's another one of those things where it's cool that we're seeing Bruce, and we're probably gonna get some kind of Hulk thing happening, but I do kind of hear people's criticisms about the fact that every single Spider-Man movie has to have some grander MCU character in them, kind of to its detriment at times, because I know we just had the lizard in the last movie. It wasn't his lizard, it's a lizard. This probably should have been Dr. Connors.
yes, which could still happen. But
But if there was a time, literally during a time when Spider-Man's like, is like he has to go to a mutation scientist, I feel like Dr. Connors is the premier Spider-Man character to go to for that.
agreed. And it makes the most sense and why the lizard works. And he sees the, potential and transformation, how he loses his mind. He doesn't want that to be him, et cetera, et cetera. But
Yeah.
I'm also like, I mean, I feel like I feel like the movie, we haven't seen everything yet, so there always could be a Dr. Cox, because like maybe Banner's like, oh well, if you have genetics questions, mutation questions, I work with Dr. Connors, and then Dr. Connors introduced. You know what I mean? They're just a new
Yeah,
character, I guess.
or
What
it
well,
even
new
could be a thing
character.
where Peter recognizes that name because of the lizard. It's like, no, I don't want to talk to him. Like, I don't want to go to that.
Oh yeah,
It could do that.
yeah,
They could
maybe. I
also
don't know.
they could be doing a thing where, like, if we are going man spider or some kind of crazy mutation, because we do know about the organic webs, uh,
Right.
which we there are a couple of scenes that looked. I know I praise the visuals, but there are a couple of scenes that looked either unfinished or like there's something off about them that could be, big spider head, extra arms. It could be something else going on in those scenes, and it could be a thing where, like, he could be basically like werewolfing, where whenever he goes into that form, Peter just blacks out, doesn't know what's happening. So he could be going to Bruce on top of just genetics, be like, how do you deal with not being present all the time
Mm,
while this other thing takes over?
makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's gonna be cool, seeing Peter deal with the organic webs now that he's met another Spider-Man who has those. Like, is he gonna bring that up? I feel like he should, um, but it's gonna be kind of interesting knowing that this Spider-Man has relied very heavily on just the various ways that those web shooters can shoot, since this Spider-Man's very tech based. So it's going to be
Right.
interesting seeing how this Spider-Man adapts to having to rely just on his own body to produce that
Yeah,
stuff.
but I mean, if it's been, 4 years, it's like he's had plenty of time to reduce back to the ground up. I mean, he's literally, he's sewing his suit and all that now.
Yeah.
So,
Um, yeah, we saw some glimpses of the Hand, who we haven't seen in a Marvel thing since the Defenders back on the Netflix Marvel universe,
mhm.
which, like, I assumed that they were all wiped out, but maybe this is a new strand, or maybe they're ignoring that completely, which I don't blame them. That show kind of terrible.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, whenever they have those like organizations, they're never really gone. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's like there's some faction, there's some old loyalist or whatever that, came back.
yeah. I am curious who the Punisher is specifically going after, because it'll be a little weird if it is the Hand, because even in the season of Daredevil where the Hand was very active, that was the season that Frank showed up, but Frank and the Hand, their stories were very parallel to each other. That didn't Frank never really had to fight the Hand, as far as I remember. So it's going to be interesting to see if Frank is involved in that story at all. There are a couple of scenes that maybe make me think, oh, maybe there could be a different character in there. Like, is there's Daredevil gonna show up at all? Like, I think that could be cool, since Matt Murdock was there in No Way Home. We know this takes place after season 2 of Born Again, so um, will will Daredevil be involved with taking down the Hand? I don't know. Could be cool if he is.
Probably.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I'm just so stoked for this movie. One kind of weird thing about the way they presented this trailer, is, and like they admitted during this that this is something that's never been done before, and maybe I understand why it hasn't been done before, is the trailer was released on last Wednesday, but throughout the day on Tuesday, they were just like on various different social media platforms and accounts. They released like 1 second clips at a time from the trailer. Like, there were, I think, 20 or so just 1 second clips throughout the day from the trailer.
Hmm.
And it's like, the scene of him falling, like, in the mask, and like pulling down the mask, him jumping at the Hand. Like, there's just various different just 1 second little snippets. And then the next day having the full trailer. And I don't really know why they did it that way, because people were highly anticipating this trailer. I don't think you needed to like do some gimmick to get people talking about it for multiple days. People were going to talk about Spider-Man for multiple days, regardless of when you released it. So, yeah, I don't really know why they did it that way. And I hope they don't do it again. Because the whole day I was like, oh, those shots are cool, but I kind of just want to wait to see it all together. I don't know why, like why I would bother watching it 1 second at a
Yeah, I
time.
don't really. Yeah, 1 second at a time. I mean, like I get if it's like, oh, there's like stills or something that are like, oh, this image, this
Yeah.
and that. And they're like, oh, tomorrow the full trailer. Just be
Yeah.
like, yeah, 1 second's gotta like,
Yeah.
yeah, just
Like
give me the
that
whole
happens
trailer,
all the
bro.
time where, yeah, like they'll release a 5 second little snippet or a teaser poster or something and then drop it
Yeah,
tomorrow.
something, but not just 1 second. Like that's
Yeah.
like, what is that?
Which leads me to the next day that Thursday, Sony announced that they announced the trailer views for the trailer. For most like highly anticipated movies and stuff, they'll announce how many the record number of views any given trailer gets. Um, and this movie did break that record. The previous record was Deadpool and Wolverine. Its initial trailer, I think, it broke 365 million views across the 24-hour period.
Mm.
And I I don't know if this number counts each individual 1 second clip from Tuesday, because they specifically said this number is across all platforms in 24 hours. So I don't know if it was just the full trailer or if everything, but regardless, do you want to take a guess how many millions of views Sony claims that this Spider-Man trailer produced across 24
24
hours?
hours.
Again, the previous
Probably.
record was 365 million.
Is it more than 500 million?
718 million.
I don't believe that.
You can't like almost double
Double?
previous
I
without
don't believe that.
counting
Like,
the gimmick
don't
views.
get me wrong, this trailer is big, but I'm like, there's no way.
I've seen it 4 times, but I don't think. I don't know.
I mean, nah, I don't think more than double the previous record by any means in 24. Like, there's no way. I'm kind of surprised Avengers isn't like #1. Like, I feel like that first Infinity War trailer, everyone saw that.
I think Endgame is currently either 2 or 3 with 350 ish, and then No Way Homes is also up there with 350 ish. So like, they're yeah. I think they also it's probably a thing where they started like counting trailer views differently within the last 6 or 8 years or however many. Um, so it maybe technically would have if they counted it differently. I'm not sure, but they're definitely counting the Spider-Man one differently.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, double? Come on. Like, that's not even like good luck. I feel like that's like very easy to disprove.
Yeah, I mean, I'm currently obviously this is a few days later, but like on the PlayStation official account, it has 14 million views. On Sony's official account, it has 24 million views. On a Spider-Man trailer, like Spider-Man specific account, it has several million. So like, it's possible that even just on YouTube, it got kind of close to 300 something. But I don't know if 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 without those like individual 1 second clips, if they are counting those, I don't know if I don't know. It just seems a little weird. It seems like a way for them to like I don't know. I kind of wish they were a little more transparent about exactly how they tracked this, because now there's no way any other movie can ever beat that number unless they do that gimmick, which I hope no other movie does.
No, but it's so dumb that it's like double, bro. Like,
Yeah.
there's
And I
no
think
way. Like, you have to, like, that has to be something. That has to be sketchy. There's no way.
yeah, I don't know. Because I think regardless of how they released it, it would have beaten Deadpool Wolverine. Just because Spider-Man
Yeah,
was
but I
such a
don't think
big
by that
anticipated movie.
much.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, but yeah, regardless, this movie's gonna be really good. I've actually seen this trailer in theaters already, along with the one we're gonna talk about next. It Yeah, it just looks visually phenomenal. There's still a lot about it we don't know because we haven't actually seen the this movie's tombstone yet. We know he's gonna be in there.
Hmm.
Um, we know Sadie Sink's character, who might be Jean Grey, might be some other mind control person, or not. I don't know. We just know that she is playing a redhead in a Marvel thing, which leads people to think it might be Jean Grey. I personally kind of hope they don't like put too many mutants in the MCU until like the actual mutant saga starts. But
Right.
regardless, there's many characters that we, even though we saw a lot of characters in the trailer, there's still several that we don't really know about. So um, yeah, I'm excited.
I'm ready for this movie because, I mean, it's going to be amazing. Everyone's excited. Everybody loves Spider-Man, but also, yeah, it's just a different, because I feel like, yeah, a lot of the other ones, it's like, yeah, No Way Home being more of an exception, but the first two is definitely, like you said, kind of more, it's very MCU-y, very like, oh, Iron Man Jr., like all this stuff. And I
Uh-huh.
here it feels like, bro, it feels like he's just Spider-Man. It really feels
Yes.
like he's Spider-Man for the
Yep.
first time in a long time.
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, I'll wait for July for that to come out, and we got to wait a little bit longer for Dune Part 3. They also got a trailer, which I've also seen in theaters. Like, just,
Right?
just great. Like,
Looks great. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, it looks really good. It looks just as good as the last one did for the last movie.
yeah,
I am So Dune is a trilogy, so it's only three of them. So this is like the conclusion. I know in the trailer it was like the conclusion.
yes,
So I'm really excited to see where this goes, but I'm also like, I don't know. I love how the second movie really built off of all the expedition the first one set up, and then here they're kind of like really gonna just wrap it all up. I'm excited to see how they do that, but I'm also
hmm
like, man, this is gonna look good on screen
yes.
regardless.
Like,
I hope it sticks to the landing, but either way, it's gonna look good.
I was a little skeptical going into this trailer since Greg Fraser dropped out in order to do Batman Part Two, and then dropped out from that when that got delayed to do something else. So, but then this movie already got a different cinematographer, so whatever. But they clearly got someone who is competent, very competent, to come in, and I'm sure there's going to be a thing where after the movie comes out, you show things side by side, it will look a little different. But as far as the trailer goes, it just visually looks amazing. Um, like I I am just slightly concerned about the fact that the first two Dune movies were essentially the first Dune book split in two. So,
Right.
and then this movie is essentially going to be the movie version of Dune Messiah, which is the second Dune book. I think that book is a little shorter than Dune proper, but still a lot happens in Dune Messiah. So, is either going to be a 3 hour movie or a shorter movie where they either cut stuff, rush stuff, or just kind of maybe don't do it as satisfyingly as they could have if they did split it. But I don't want them to split it because, but I don't know. That's just kind of in the back of my mind of like, as someone who hasn't read the book, I'm curious how book fanatics are gonna watch this and be like, oh, they skipped this or they didn't emphasize certain things that we were expecting, but just as a sequel to Dune Part Two, it looks like a really good movie.
Yeah.
Like that
And I'm
chanting
sure
that
they
I was
plan.
doing throughout it was just so cool.
And it's exciting because I'm like, yeah, I want to see how this goes. But I also, you also realize like I'm sure they've thought about this as far as like the planning story wise. Like, yeah, this one's smaller, so we'll do 1, 2, and 3 and
Yeah,
stuff like that. But I mean, I'm sure it'll be because I mean, they're still long movies too,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
feel like
It's
this one
gonna
will
be at
probably be
least two
just as
hours
long.
45. Well, let's see.
Oh yeah, I mean, probably. I'd be surprised. I'd be shocked if they didn't do 3. Honestly.
Yeah, it's like Avatar Part Three still it didn't do as well as the others, but still made $1.4 billion. So I think 3 hour movies are
Only
still
140.
viable.
Yeah. Which is still kind of crazy because, like, yeah, considering the other ones made almost twice that.
Yeah. um, yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a very interesting weekend, knowing that and Avengers Doomsday are still on track to be released the same weekend. I'm gonna see both, but man, that's a lot.
Yeah, I still don't love that for either because I'm just like, you both are going to be great. Why would you compete? Like,
Right. Luckily, uh, Dune is the one that's getting the IMAX screenings. Apparently, because there's so
mm,
few IMAX theaters available, they can only show like certain like movies at a time.
right.
They're getting Dune instead of Doomsday, which I think Dune will probably benefit more from it anyway.
Yes.
Not that Doomsday will look bad or whatever, but like Dune needs
But I
them
feel
to
like
just fully get it.
Dune, the way it's shot and set up, like, yeah, it makes way more sense for them to get IMAX because they're just more visually just like over the top.
Yeah, yeah. So, uh, like I would prefer if one of them got either pushed up or pushed back somewhere, but I'm gonna see both regardless, so it doesn't really matter to me. I just hope that both can be very successful. They are released at the same time. Yeah. Um, okay. Speaking of movies that are doing very well, that I think are very good, I saw Project Hail Mary yesterday.
Mm.
And it was at this movie where I saw both Spider-Man and the Dune trailer in the theater. Like, oof, yeah. um, do you know anything about this movie?
I know that it is something to do with space. That is it.
Okay, good. So, do you know anything about The Martian?
I know that it had something to do with space. No, I'm
Okay,
just
good.
kidding. No, just
So,
no.
no, that's right. So, the book, The Martian and Project Hail Mary, they were both written by the same person. I don't remember his name. They're both
Mm,
written by the same person. And The Martian is about a man who is stranded on Mars, and the whole movie is about him like figuring out ways to survive and sending video logs back to Earth while people on Earth try to figure out the best way to get him back. And when the Project Hail Mary book came out, the way it was pitched is basically we're doing that again, but instead of being on Mars, the guy whose name is Grace, at least his last name is Grace, they call him Grace, he's stranded in a different galaxy, like 11 light years away.
woo.
He was sent there to research like some like broad strokes. He was sent there to research something and then send like information back. Um, and he might be stranded there. Like maybe they can get him back. We're not sure. And that was it. That was like the main pitch. Like, oh, that worked very well for the Martian. Let's just run that back. Um, and I'm gonna like technically spoil something. It's in all the trailers. And it's not like a biggest deal. This. Um, but the like twist with Project Hail Mary is, oh, it's not that he's stranded out there. He was actually sent out there basically on a suicide mission to like to research to research these like basically star eating little like microscopic organisms that are eating our Earth's sun. But there seems to be just all the stars around us are also getting eaten by these things. but there's one that they found light years away that's has these things near that isn't getting eaten. We're gonna send you and a crew out there to research why that's happening and send information back. But we only have enough of this special fuel to get you there and send probes back, not the entire ship. So so he's actually supposed to be out there like stranded.
Mm.
However, when he gets out there, not only does he find those organisms that are kind of actually not eating that star, he also finds another alien. Like he gets there and he finds this like giant like crystal ship and he, like tries to make contact with it and then he finally does and it turns out that this ship is being piloted by this one little rock creature. And like if you're just reading the book, you get about a third of the way through, and then like you get the entire backstory of the mission, and then you finally get there. Oh, aliens! Like we're doing aliens, and then the rest of the story is about Grace and this alien who he just calls Rocky, like trying to figure out each other's language, trying to like do research together. Like they're both doing research on this same thing because both their individual stars are dying, and they both got here, either at the same time or around the same time. Um, and like I going in, I kind of knew there would be an alien involved. I didn't know if it would be hostile or like what exactly was going on, but like I was not at all expecting to like actually care this deeply about a rock creature that's not humanoid. It looks like a little like rock spider guy. Like I adore that thing. There's a scene where I almost died and I genuinely almost teared up. Like
Rocky, no.
pretty much, yeah. Like Ryan Gosling, who plays the main character, he gets knocked out, and the rock creature who our atmosphere is toxic to him. Um, yeah, because our his ship, like I guess some kind of like there's some kind of like uh, I guess oxygen is toxic to him. So like
Mm.
uh, in like at the end of like a big beautiful scene of them like collecting a bunch of these like basically uh like evil microbe eating create like basically like these like amoeba things are the natural predators of the things that are eating our planet. uh he like collected a bunch of them and on his way back in he like something happened, he got knocked out, so the rocky like got out of his little pod that he was in. He like basically traveled around Ryan Gosling's ship like basically in like a rock hamster wheel like just like roll around. It's so adorable. He like got out of that to like get him in a place, like press a button so the ship could stabilize, and he got him to a medical bay, like basically as Rocky was like just like basically like turning to ash, but he went into like a hibernative state and was fine. But like that like during the, like several minutes where I wasn't sure if he was dead, like I was like actually like feeling really sorry for both Rocky, but also Ryan Gosling is like that was the one guy you had out here, and like now he's maybe gone. Um, and also one of my first comments to my roommate after getting out of the theater was like it looked visually stunning. I was surprised at how well the CG on Rocky held up, and it turns out that the rock creature was actually mostly a puppet for most of the movie.
Mm.
Like, and like yeah, that's why it held up because it was actually there. And apparently most of the stuff in the movie was practical. um most of the space scenes were set in front of the volume, how they shot the Mandalorian and other stuff, so like it wasn't a
Mm.
green screen, it was like it was able to better replicate it actually being there. uh it There's one scene in particular that just like if possible, I would want you to watch this on the biggest screen possible because
Got it.
like it is shown briefly in the trailers, but I also recommend you don't really watch the trailers. Um, because like it got to that because my I really like it when I'm able to sit in a theater with where the energy of the theater kind of matches the energy I bring into the movie because like everyone in the theater just lost it at every single joke, uh, every single
Yes.
tense moment. We felt it. Just I heard people like actually crying when stuff happened. Like I was in a good crowd, but when this one scene happened, just audible gasps were just like just like wow. Um, and like yeah, I genuinely highly recommend it if for no other reason than just to watch Ryan Gosling put in an all-timer performance. Like
Mm.
I I like Ryan Gosling. I think he's a good actor, but I don't think I've ever seen him just put on a performance like this before where let me put it this way. So um the at the most recent Oscars, Michael B. Jordan won for his playing the twins in Sinners,
Yeah, and
which is a
Sinners. Yeah.
phenomenal movie. Have you seen it?
I've not seen it, but I've heard
Okay.
many a good things.
Another movie I highly recommend. I'll also kind of be comparing it to this in a little bit in a different way in just a minute. But like Michael B. Jordan did a fantastic job in that role. I think he deserved it for his acting. However, I heard some people kind of be like, oh, maybe it should have gone to Timothy Chalamet and Marty Supreme or someone else in I can't remember the other movie, but like there's other movies where like if the main character doesn't bring it 100% of the time, the movie falls apart. Like whereas for Sinners, there's so many amazing actors in that movie. Michael B. Jordan was just one of them playing two characters. So one of the
Mm.
actors in this amazing cast. And he did an amazing job in that movie but maybe technically speaking, those other actors propped up their movie more than he did. I
Right,
don't know if
because
that's
like
like
Ryan Gosling's co-star was a rock. So
exactly for most of the movie it was him acting at kind of nothing. Like it was still a puppet, but like it wasn't like it. It's very
you
different
can't
than a
work off
human.
a puppet, really.
Yeah, and like his humor felt very natural. Like any emotional scene was just very poignant. Like there's one moment where he has to reveal to Rocky that, oh, actually, I there's not enough fuel to send me back. I knew what I was getting into. Also, kind of a lie, but I might get that later. Like I knew what I was getting into. Like you know, I've made peace with it that I'm not getting back. And Rocky almost immediately was like, I have some extra fuel I could give you. It might take me longer to get back home, but I could get you back. And immediately Ryan was like, oh thank goodness. It's just immediately just steered his eye like, oh like Ryan was like I I thought you made peace with it. No, that was a lie. None of that.
He's like, I was so not ready.
Yeah,
Like,
I was coping so hard, so much denial, and him basically being able to snap from like clearly in denial, but putting on a brave face for his friend immediately to like just like oh finally like I actually have hope now that just oof yeah I like all the supporting cast that is there during the flashback sequences also very good. Um, like I feel like there's certain like tropes they could have gone they could have done that I'm kind of glad they didn't. Where there's this other scientist lady who like kind of like volunteers him to be a part of this mission. Um, kind of like well he's being like a little like he's out of his element. He's usually a school teacher. Like he used to be like a researcher, but he's not like a NASA scientist type thing. So he's like trying to do the best he can to to investigate what's going on. But like I was a little afraid that they would like actually have them be an item. They didn't do that. They only just briefly mentioned that he used to have a wife, but she left him. Um, I was afraid that they would like that would kind of be like a it would kind of be like a driving factor for him to get back home to see her or whatever. No, like this, he just like
I just
he
don't
wants
want
to
to die on a planet
exactly
a
like
million miles from Earth because that
like
sucks.
I don't want to die, but I also really care about my students at home or just the people in general. Like it's completely altruistic. Like I dig that a lot. And there's even a moment where he does make a big sacrifice for this rock creature he just met. Like even though he this is the only rock person he's ever met. Like he doesn't like he knows that this rock creature has a mate, but he doesn't know them. He doesn't like know anything about them. He just know that they're also another species that also has a dying star. He is still willing to make some kind of major sacrifice for this creature he just met. Like I just the story is very good. It's a little long. It's over 2.5 hours, but it never really felt like it. Um,
Hmm.
it's not even a thing where once the movie got going, it got going. Like no, like I was in it from the beginning, and I think part of what helped was they did a thing where the movie started in space, like hit him getting his bearings about what was going on. Then it did some flashbacks to you know to uh, to like how he was recruited, and then it went back. Like kept cutting to space back to back to Earth, like kind of throughout it. So it nothing felt like monotonous, and I think that really kind of helped the pacing of it. Um, and yeah, like I said, visually stunning. Um, I mentioned Sinners earlier. Like I feel it's kind of in a similar position that Sinners was last year, where it came out pretty early in the year. I think that also came out in March of last year, and I know this is going to be a pretty stacked year with stuff like The Odyssey and Dune and a couple of other like
Yeah.
major movies. I hope that this is at least in the conversation come next Oscar season. I hope you don't forget about it. So yeah, if you have 2.5 hours on a random day, want to see a movie, I would recommend it.
Okay. Okay. Now my question is,
Yes.
you kind of alluded earlier that it wasn't doing so well.
Oh no. It is doing well. Like it's actually doing
Okay.
very well. Sorry, if I
Oh,
misspoke
okay.
there.
Okay. No. Okay.
Um,
I thought maybe that was being alluded to, but I guess not.
no, it actually is currently. I don't think this will last, especially just with Mario coming out. But it is the currently the highest grossing opening of any movie this year at
Okay.
141 million, which is pretty good for a
Yeah, that's solid.
non-sequel like this. It's apparently the second highest opening for a domestic non-sequel. The last one being Oppenheimer, like 82. This is right at 80. So 80 million
That's
domestic, about
really good.
60-ish million uh, overseas. Um, so yeah, it needs to, according to our box office fantasy league, it needs to make over 500 to break even. And with 141 opening start with seemingly pretty good momentum, like I think it
Yeah,
could
they're
do that.
fine. Yeah, I'm about to say, I think it definitely will. Which is great, but also sucks for me. But it's fine.
um, it's also one of those movies where there's not a lot like it coming out because something like
Right.
Superman, I think part of its problem was it had a pretty strong opening. There was just a lot of competition in a similar space with Fantastic Four and even
Fantastic
Jurassic Park and I
Four.
think one other thing kind of
Yeah.
around the same time. Um, whereas this, like, there's a couple of horror things out. I don't think even though Mario Galaxy is technically set in space, it's not the same not the same thing. It's like that's clearly a kids movie. Um, this is a very different thing. So if it has the legs again that Sinners had, I think I actually saw Sinners in like early May, and it came out early March. So if it stays in theaters for 2+ months, I think it could do it.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what was I think it'll definitely. I think it can definitely hit that mark, especially with how strong that opening is. But we'll see how far it goes.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be a Hail Mary itself. Okay, yeah, I'll see myself out.
Yeah, like, I don't think it'll be like breaking a billion or anything, but
Nah, but
there are very, very few times when pretty much when a movie based on a book comes out and every single book snob I see on Twitter is like, that was actually a really good adaptation. Like,
yeah, that's always a good sign.
like I've seen some people kind of complain about like the humor because there seems to be this weird trend nowadays of just whenever a movie has humor in it, people complain about it being like, oh, there's it's just MCU humor, oh, it's just Reddit humor of all like, no, it's just people are allowed to be funny without like. I felt the humor in this was very well placed. It wasn't like even James Gunn to an extent I think has this issue of like of humor kind of like undercutting dramatic scenes and like kind of
Yeah,
cutting up the pacing a little bit. That's not this at all. Every single bit of humor was very realistic, was like in response to like something funny actually happening or in response to like at least like a coping mechanism type of thing. So the humor is definitely, if there were any issues with this movie, the humor is not one of them. Like the only issue I could even like kind of levy at it is like maybe you could argue it's slightly too long. I don't really know what you would cut because I think every scene is vital. But like, you know, if you're just vehemently against 2.5 hour movies, maybe this isn't for you. But that's really the only thing I could think of that's like that was maybe slightly negative. So yeah, I would recommend it.
okay, definitely.
Okay. One last piece of news we have. It's been confirmed that Jon Stewart will be appearing in the Man of Tomorrow movie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Which Lanterns is supposed to come out. When is Lanterns dropping?
This summer.
Yeah, like, but is it before Super? Because Supergirl's what, July?
Supergirl's July. I think this is either sorry, Supergirl is end of June. Um,
Okay,
Lanterns, I think, is either July or August. That feels right.
so it'll be before.
Supergirl
Oh
will be
no, man! Oh no, man!
Supergirl's before. And then
Okay,
Man of Tomorrow was next July.
okay, no, okay, Man of Tomorrow. Sorry, I got the movies mixed up.
Yeah. So
Okay, well, good.
we at least know
Hopefully,
that Jon Stewart's not going to die in that, which
I mean that would be kind of awkward.
yeah. um,
Yeah.
Now James Gunn was very adamant when this movie was pitched that it is not a Superman sequel. Like it is not a Superman movie. It will not be called Superman Man of Tomorrow. I kind of wish I haven't seen the movie yet, but in a way, I almost kind of wish it were because it's a little funny that like the James Gunn universe, DC universe, is currently on a kind of similar trajectory that the Zack Snyder one was, where it starts with Superman and the sequel is kind of a sequel, but not really a sequel to the
Not
Superman movie.
really. Yes, no.
That has a bunch of other DC characters in it. Like it's a little funny.
I mean, that's kind of a coincidence, but I mean, the movies are nothing really alike, and they've already added a bunch of DC heroes in the first movie,
Yeah.
so it is still kind of on par. It's not like, I mean, they had all these heroes and characters in the first. It's not like it was just Superman and no one
Yeah.
else.
As long as Doomsday doesn't show up here, I think we'll be fine.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Hopefully not.
yeah, but regardless, um, just knowing that Jon Stewart will be showing up on the big screen in some kind of other DC property. Uh, I kind of hope that like that means that we can maybe kind of fast track Justice League stuff because if we're already having him interacting with Superman, we know a Wonder Woman project is in the works in some capacity. Um, I I think by then there will be enough DC properties where you can do some kind of grander crossover. So yeah. Plus, I think no, lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Yeah.
There went. Um, yeah. Yep. Sorry, he's gone.
You're good. You're good, man. Nah, it's all good. It's just, yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on, but yeah. I mean, well, hopefully it'll be good. I'm excited to see kind of how Green Lantern. I mean, we saw with Guy Gardner, the ring and the powers can look good. Lantern trailer didn't see a ton, so I guess we'll have to. I
Yeah,
guess we'll see how that goes, but
yeah, it is very interesting how the lanterns, not Green Lantern, the lanterns, every single trailer we've seen from it, there's been almost no green at all. Like,
it's just so weird. Like, I get like they probably aren't gonna have the same budget for like the shows and they have movies, but I mean like that's your whole thing.
like it's almost like the trailer itself is like it's almost like the characters themselves are actively like rebelling against the concept of it being Green Lanterns. And I know that you're doing an older Hal Jordan movie. He's like jaded with the whole thing, but like it just seems it just seems like a weird vibe that I wasn't hoping for. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe by the end of it, we'll there will be maybe the trailer was just from the first episode or two, and maybe the second half of the show will have more. But
Hopefully.
definitely
But yeah.
not what I was hoping for with Green Lantern stuff.
Yeah, a little disappointing off rip, but there's still time, hopefully.
Yeah, but we know at least by the end of it, John Stewart will still be a Green Lantern, and he'll show up in tomorrow. So that's cool. There's been no reports of Mr. Terrific coming back for Man of Tomorrow, and I hope that's not the case because, like, I think considering he was a standout character in Superman,
Absolutely.
I hope they don't just trade out one black guy for another for that's kind of like what it looks like right
Gosh.
now. Or if they do, I hope Mr. Terrific has like a show or other project, down the line that is actually his because he has like he's been the leader of his own little team with him, Hot Girl, and Hot Girl, Plastic Man, and Metamorpho have their own little team called the Terrifics, kind of their version of the Fantastic Four. So
Hmm.
we already have Hot Girl and Metamorpho. We could get a Plastic Man or someone else in there also, like
Easily.
that could work. Maybe it wasn't Metamorpho, maybe it was someone else. Regardless, I think they could make it work even with the characters that we already have.
Definitely.
Okay. I think that's everything I have written down. Is there anything else you want to bring up or discuss?
New Invincible dropped
Oh,
on
yes,
Wednesday.
yes,
Yeah.
of course. Have you seen all of those?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, let's talk about that. Oh, I didn't write it down. Okay.
It's like, oh yes,
Um,
perfect, perfect.
I am really liking this season so far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the vibes like from the opening of the first episode where it's just like, same stuff, just a different day. The world's always on fire. Some monsters are like the fact that there's just the monster of the week attacking some random city. Just and he just immediately comes in, just and just flies off, doesn't even care. It's just like
Yeah.
that's so real. Like experiencing burnout is so relatable and real, but at this level, it's just crazy. But
Yeah, about
yeah,
halfway in, I was like, "There's a lot happening right now." We got that electric lady.
yeah,
We got those like Starro things coming back. Like, can we just
yes,
take a
which were
break?
crazy. And we got a new Guardians leader who kind of gives like
Brit.
that Rick Flag energy, but
Yeah.
like
I thought he was
but he
gonna be a
also
guy, but him being basically indestructible, that's cool.
that's kind of my thing. Like I will say one thing about I think Invincible, like they don't really explain people's power sets because like I still don't know what Bulletproof can like do other than just like fly and like I guess he's super strong and fast, but I'm like, what are your actual powers? Like I
Just
have no
discount
idea
Mark,
what he
a
does.
little fast, kind of strong,
That's kind of what I'm
durable.
saying. I'm like, so are you just like not as good Superman? Like I don't
Pretty
like
much.
you like I don't know what your power set is. Like I'm very confused because I feel like him and he's just discount Mark, and then they didn't even explain anything about what's the new leader guy's name? I don't even
Brit.
remember.
Brit.
Yeah, Brett. Yeah, they don't even explain him. He just
Jumps
kinda
out of a
is.
plane, just crash and
Yeah,
nothing.
he just like I thought he was gonna parachute. I'm like, no, he just Captain America. He's just like, yeah, we got it. Like, just went. I was like, oh, all right, like
Nice.
he can do that.
I still find it so funny that Bulletproof's suit was one that Art was trying to pawn off to Mark. Like,
Yes, I think that is one of the funniest like little Easter egg things ever because like you're like, yeah, I'm trying to say, hey man, I'm just trying to move this merchandise, and then later he's in this like he got the discount stuff. Like maybe he got it for a good price, but it's like
Yeah.
you got the leftovers. That's crazy. But yeah, man. I mean, it's been really good so far. That second episode going into like the history of Ultron was insane. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
so much going. First of all, almost crushing a toddler's head for not remembering a lesson. I would have never survived on Ultron because I would have been dead instantly. Because I forget stuff all the
And then
time. There's
immediately
no
after
way.
being like, okay, hope y'all are ready for your lessons tomorrow because only two of you will survive. Like,
Yeah, it would be smart to bring a weapon. Like, what?
what?
What is this? And then not 2 seconds later, his parents are like, it's your birthday. Die. Like, that was insane. And the fact that, like, I like the dad's kind of holding back. The mom is like, kill him. I'm like, wow, this is insane. I've never seen anything like this. Like, why would you? Oh my gosh. Like to the death, basically. I'm like, you guys are gonna kill each other? How does that help? But
and like the Peter Cullen Viltrumite being the one that spread that gas that killed enough Viltrumites to make an entire ring around their planet. Like
that was
awesome,
bro. I didn't even catch that the first time. I had to go back and I was like, oh, the ring or the bodies. Like that. I'm not gonna lie. I know that's horrible, but that's also one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
For real.
Because I guess the bodies don't decay, I guess, because they're invincible. They're title card. But yeah, man, I mean, that was so crazy. And the fact that it killed billions is insane.
Yes.
Like, what did he make?
But also, like I completely understand Omni-Man, like, being a little apprehensive about, like, going full throttle against them because, like, yeah, I don't like what they're doing, but they're still my people. Like, I still don't like the fact that you killed most of them. You killed my parents. Like,
I mean,
they weren't good.
I don't know, man. Like, I hear that, but like, I'm with Alan. I'm like, hey, bro, you did this to everybody.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to you was Tuesday. Your Tuesday. That's what everyone's been going through throughout the galaxy. So, like, not really any sympathy. I mean, we're even going back to planets you did this to. So I'm kind of like, hey, man, like, yes, that's really messed up, and I feel for you, but also, it was only because you guys literally did genocide everywhere else. So I don't feel that bad doing genocide towards you.
I love the little like Starfleet crew that they had on that ship.
Oh
Like,
my god, the captain is such an idiot. Oh my god. I'll do it. Blow up that thing. Wait,
what?
no, just move.
No.
You idiot.
I mean, speaking of idiots, Cecil, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Bro, okay. So my issue with the conquest thing is
Mm-hmm.
you made it so clear to Mark you have all these contingencies for him. You didn't make any for conquest. You didn't put a little ringy thing in his ear. You didn't. I
The
mean, you could
the
easily.
argument
I mean, his
is
head was open when you got him. Just put it in there.
you're so right, but the argument is, oh, in the comics, Cecil didn't make the inner ear sonic thing until after the conquest part in the comics, so he didn't have it yet. But in this show, he did. So,
That's what I'm saying.
but regardless, like, did you really think that? Oh, burying him in miles of concrete. That's not, that's not going to stop him. Like, you should have had the place rigged to blow up. You should have had one of those like giant space lasers. All those like
Even
kaijus
that.
just around. Like, there's so many contingencies you have for Mark and Omni-Man that you just didn't have for one that is stronger than them. Like, what are you doing?
That's kind of my thing. And the thing too is like Cecil is like the king of contingencies. And then
Mm-hmm.
all he had was just like, oh, we're gonna chain him up. I'm like, bro, he could poop like this guy is all like, there's no way. Like he's literally made craters, flying, blitzing the war. I mean, he's ridiculously strong.
Yeah.
He's the guy the Viltrumites don't like. You think
And
he's not gonna
you're lucky that he just flew away. Like,
Yeah. Also, adding to that, if Conquest thought that he was gonna get killed for his failure, why didn't he just retake over Earth? You basically got a mulligan.
because he
Why would
was
you
missing a
actively
hand.
go back and expect Thrag to kill you? I don't.
He was missing a hand, and maybe he wasn't like fully recharged yet. I don't
I
know.
mean, I guess, but he was. I mean, he already had the fake hand. I mean, you think that? I mean, he can do one hand with Conquest is still better than a lot of other people. I think he'll
Yeah.
be. No one on Earth. I mean, other than Mark, I don't think anyone on Earth really had a chance. So
True.
I don't really get that logic either, but I guess they had to set it up for what they're doing. But it's just kind of like there's a lot of that didn't make sense. It felt like it was more for shock value than for like why does that even make sense? Because even keeping Conquest alive is dumb. Because I'm like, why not? Or at least make him like an ultimate reanimate or something if you can.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been insane. And then he comes up one day, whatever does get invaded, he just goes ape on something. Like that would be incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Like,
that's just my thoughts.
I
I
know
know
they're
that's a
basically pulling a
lot.
panel straight from the book, but like, you, when the show has already changed a lot of other stuff around it, like you should at least make it look like Cecil is in that one instance, because it felt very out of character for him to be like, "Gosh, shucks, he got out." Like, what?
Literally. Because he very easily could have just went right back to what he was doing before that. Not to mention
Especially,
he's like
yeah.
healed a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, look, like, bro, like, I mean, even he was like, wait, I'm alive? These people
Yeah.
are stupid. Like, you know what I mean?
Especially when you know that Mark has more of a propensity for violence now, you'd think that you would know that, oh, if Mark knew that I kept Conquest alive at all, let alone let him escape, he might try to kill me. Like,
Yeah. Also, just like, okay, so again, I'm never like pro kill people, like in a way, but like in this case, absolutely. Because not just with the conquest thing, because obviously, yeah, you put
yeah,
conquest in the ground, no
yeah,
question about it. He's a monster. But also, like, the Sequid thing where it was like, oh, I killed an innocent man. I'm like, bro, it was either one dude who had already been gone for years at that point. I mean, people had already assumed he was dead.
Yeah.
So it was either one dude or potentially the planet, because those shields were not going to hold. I don't care what anybody says.
Absolutely.
Those shields were not going to hold. If they get through, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
So no, absolutely the right decision. I get it. It was it was technically an innocent person, but he hasn't been a person for years at this point. I mean, it's kind of at this point, yeah, I get it. We're heroes. We try to save people, but I'm not going to risk the entire planet for one person that was kind of already gone.
Yeah. I agree completely. Like, yeah, Bulletproof was almost there, but you were still a couple of seconds away. Was more than
a couple of seconds of all, because then we're doing the same thing again on a global scale. And we only got, 5 disruptors for some reason? Why don't we make a giant one? Whatever. But
right.
the fact we only have a handful of disruptors tells you everything we need to know. We are not prepared for this. Even if this just happened to the city next over, we're screwed. There's no way.
Again, like Cecil was like, "Oh yeah, we've been preparing for this. Not well enough. What are you
Not really. Not really. Like, I don't even it doesn't seem like it. We're kind of screwed.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't blame Mark at all. He made the right call, and he had to do it. It's like if he doesn't do that, the world's gone again. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Sorry, I killed a guy. He probably didn't have to punch his face into a billion pieces, but I mean.
Yeah. I do appreciate that when Mark went to help Oliver fight that dragon. I do appreciate him coming in and just immediately winning, because I was afraid of they're gonna do the thing again where he actually kind of struggles with the dragon. No, them together were enough to just easily drive him off. Like, that was very satisfying.
Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, it's like if Mark's been doing all this training all this time, he's been legit. He has been, objectively getting way stronger to the point. I mean, he beat Conquest. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't just happen. Like, he is legitimately extremely strong. And even Nolan's like, oh, Mark's almost as strong as me. So that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like, you should be able to just topple everything else pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
But, and the other thing too, man, this whole, I don't understand the thing. Okay, so why are we I get robots or Rex or Rudy, whatever. First of all, I hate that he changed his name to Rex. I think that's really stupid, and it's the opposite. I feel like that's the opposite of remembering your friend. I feel like that's not honoring your friend you already took his body, now you take his name.
Yeah, everyone's
that's
so
okay weird.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's really. I feel like if he picked a new name, it'd be one thing, but the fact that you're taking his old name is just kind of. It's like it feels like the whole Young Justice Roy Harper thing, but but worse.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They, at least like the Roy that they knew changed his name to Will.
Right. Because he's like, okay, I'm my own person. Where this person, you're just like, yeah, I'm just Rex now. That's not okay, but whatever. But anyway, why? I don't understand why he's like, oh, there's some underground. Don't go down there. Literally, why? You don't want me to help? I'm very confused.
Because I feel like if they're down there, it's more likely for them to escape. Because we have to dome around the city, but
does it really go underground? Not to mention how laid out sewers are.
Yeah. I feel like we should definitely, first of all, just off rip, Robot should always have multiple robots in the field. Why is he?
Yes.
Against the Flaxons, I appreciate him bringing more in then, but when Sequids are taking over the entire city, you should have, especially when you're the one that designed the disruptor, build that into multiple robots and send them in. What are you doing?
I no idea. I mean, I guess they weren't really. That's the thing. I'm like, they don't sound prepared, because literally, I would have just either brought one giant disruptor, or have a bunch of robots on standby with disruptors just hitting it on repeat, flying around. That's what you should have been doing, in my opinion. But whatever. But why? He went underground. You went against orders. I'm like, bro, your orders were trash. You were literally like, yeah, it's okay, just leave. I'm like, the whole point of the mission is to save people and get rid of the segment, and you're just like, nah, ignore these. I'm like, why? But whatever, moving on. But
Yeah.
and then the whole thing with the Flaxens was actually really awesome. Also, how can they make robots that now can just mess up Mark at this level after their whole civilization, their whole planet was wiped out?
Yeah, I mean,
How
we
are they
saw
back?
in like the after credit scene or like the little montage at the end of season 1 that there were a couple that survived, and if it had been a year or two on our planet, that had been at least decades on their planet, so they've had time to
Yes, but
evolve.
still, I'm like, bro, they got.
Yeah,
I'm like, I guess so. But I just thought that was crazy. And then, like, yeah, they made robots that are like beating the crap out of Mark. I'm like,
I mean,
they
you
made
built
robots
them to take
that.
on Omni-Man, so they're gonna be good enough for Mark.
I guess, but I mean, it's not like Omni-Man really had any trouble.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
but that was great. Also, yeah, robot monster girl getting stuck there. I'm like, so are they like? I know they're not, but I'm like, realistically, are they just dead? Because I'm like, Interstellar rules. It's been more than like 20 minutes, so they're dead, right?
Seems
like pretty. I don't know. That's how I see it. I'm kind of like,
yeah.
I feel like there's no way, right? Because time moves way faster over there.
Yeah, because Flaxens, they die pretty much instantly when they get here, so surely they
Right.
could
So I'm like, it's
age
got to be
faster.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, because I don't know. Because I'm like, maybe Monster Girl can like use her de-aging to like save her somehow. I don't
Maybe
know.
being
But
in the soup somehow helps
I
a
guess.
lot.
I don't know. But I'm like that. In my mind, you're pretty much dead. You should be. Like, I get Nolan's fine because he's a Viltrumite, so it doesn't
Yeah,
really matter. But I'm like, a regular person, I feel like that you would be dead within minutes
yeah,
over
because
there.
Omni-Man, if anything, he only got stronger the longer he was there.
Right. He's gonna be, I mean, he lives for, centuries, so that doesn't really bother, you know what I mean? For him, that's like 20 minutes.
Mm,
But yeah, for a regular person, I'm like, that's KO.
yeah. I do
But
really like how like the instrumental version of the song that played when Omni-Man destroyed the whole planet, that was playing when the Flaxens came back. Like that being their
yes.
leitmotif is very funny.
Yes. That was actually real. That actually made me worried. I was like, "Oh crap, are they gonna win now?" Because that was really well done. Kind of a callback to season 1 and everything. But
Yeah, still my favorite
yeah,
scene for that entire show. Like I
yeah,
like, oh.
yeah, it's really good. Oh, also, Alan and his girlfriend on the ship was the crazy. That was the. Oh, don't worry, I can sleep anywhere. Immediately cutting to the. Oh my god.
You had other rooms this whole time.
Okay, nah, I'm with Nolan though. I'm like, I would have like if we had other rooms this whole time. You said nothing for a week. I'm with him. I would have been pissed too. Like there's no way. I just had to endure that for no reason. That was terrible. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. But yeah, season looks really good so far. We saw was it Dinosaurus
Yeah,
for the first time?
dinosaurs.
Apparently that's a big character, so we'll see how that goes.
Still
And
have that little
then
subplot with the demons coming at some point
yep,
this season.
yep, we had some stuff with Titan, which I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, bro, that's on you for that. You
I'm
saw
kind
that
of
coming.
over him. I kind of hope like I know it's only once a season per season so far, but still that's once a season. That's like surely there are other characters that we could could
Spend more
focus on
time
more.
with.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you, but I love Machine Head so much that it's kind of worth it.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Like, he got an actor, yeah. Oh my god, dude's so funny. Gosh. Yeah, but no, we'll see how the rest of the season goes. It's really shaping up really well. I like the part where they go around with Nolan, get all the weapons and all the
Oh
things
yeah.
that can, beat Viltrumite. Because I'm like, this final battle is gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it's good to have the show back like in just a way that I have no real complaints about.
Yeah, it's been really good.
All right. Anything else?
That's all I got.
All right. So with that, we'll see you all next time.
Take care, everybody.